Yes, thank you very much. Good morning to all of you. And I must say, I think I have to start with a little apology because of my linguistic limitations. I was unable to understand the previous speakers. So what I'm going to say may sometimes sound a little disconnected to what was said before, but I hope that it still works out. I think the speech of Alice, I've heard it in other contexts, and I think there's a lot of it what is very inspiring. Anyhow, let me start also with an apology of our ambassador, Dirk Schubel, who had an urgent meeting this morning, more in anticipation of the actual situation in the country. The annual organization of the Global Entrepreneurship Week is a very good tradition. It's also here that, of course, it merits to give a congratulation that it's after 10 years. At the same time, I must say, when I was looking at the introductory video, it also shows an amount of disappointment that we today are sitting behind the screen in the way we are doing. I think it has been always a very lively event, a very important event for social contacts, for networking, etc., which is this year a rather limited aspect. For the European Union, support to development of entrepreneurship, and especially, of course, the small and medium enterprise sector, is a very high priority. I think pretty well known. There have been a number of projects over the last couple of years, and I think here the business advisory service, which we are implementing together with the European Bank of Reconstruction and Development, is well known. Something also which we think is really achieving good results, and we look very much forward to continue such cooperation. Other programs are the local economic development program, which we are implementing together with UNDP in 12 rayons. Mayors of economic growth, which is working in 3 other rayons. And then, quite important, although it also encounters certain limitations at the moment, but we have been building up quite a package of support for access to credit for small and medium enterprises, together with the, again, European Bank for Reconstruction and Development and the European Investment Bank through Belarusian banks. Then we have been working on or supporting actually the improvement of business environment. There's a good amount of technical assistance going on together with the teams of the IFC and the World Bank. And finally, a small, but I hope ultimately also quite an important exercise. We have been working this year on the setup of the European Belarusian Business Association, or EBA. And I will say a few more words in the end about EBA, but I think also I have to express an amount of concerns. And let me start with a successful open economy needs a successful private sector to grow in an environment of transparency and rule of law. Respect for democracy and human rights, including labor rights, are essential, as are level playing fields and open competition. Governments, including the government of Belarus, have an important task in providing such conditions for businesses pursuing proper and adequate economic regulations and eliminating barriers to a fair business environment. I'm pretty sure to this audience, I'm not telling you anything new there. The EU has strong concerns on the direction in which the business environment in Belarus has been developing this year. In particular, the impact of the falsified presidential elections and the severe repression of peaceful demonstrations have been dramatically undermining the confidence of local and international businesses in Belarus. The Belarusian society has amply demonstrated its ability to respond to economic opportunities, above all through the impressive growth of the IT sector, but it's also something you see in several other areas. The massive relocation of IT workers that we can witness at the moment is not a good sign. Whereas in earlier global entrepreneurship weeks, we always referred with enthusiasm to the potential of the country, today we are seriously worried. An open disrespect for the rule of law and democratic freedoms by the authorities is a serious barrier to the economic development of the country. It slows down progress and discourages investment. We hope that the government will understand the importance of rebuilding trust, implementing reforms, developing economic ties, and improving relations. And even if I may not have understood in details, I'm sure the previous speakers were exactly alluding to that. The EU would be ready to support a peaceful, democratic transition in Belarus. Should such a transition take place, and upon request by the Belarusian government, the EU will be ready to support launching of a comprehensive plan of economic support for democratic Belarus. This would, inter alia, include substantial financial and technical assistance for institutional reforms and economic development within the multi-annual financial framework. Resumption of talks on further reforms needed to enable the EU's macro-financial assistance, substantial scaling up of the European Investment Bank and the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development operations. The EU would also further support Belarus in its accession to the World Trade Organization. That's on the side of the European Union. I'm sure that if we are at that stage, it goes along with a better access to what the IFIs in general, also the IMF, the World Bank, have on offer. It's not a new offer. The European Union has always been supporting a prosperous and democratic Belarus. A year ago, upon arrival of the new ambassador, Mr. Schubel, he initiated actually the establishment of the European Business Association. Based on earlier experiences from other EAP countries, we see a great potential in such kind of organizations, which bring together international companies originating from the European Union or national companies having strong business ties with the EU. Earlier this year, we spoke with dozens of businesses active in Belarus, of whom many said ready to join. While the context may have become less conducive at the moment, I'm still happy to say that despite the crisis, the European Belarusian Business Association, or EBA, was officially registered on the 4th of September this year. We're now in the process to discuss with the new members the details of the mandate for EBA, and we are proceeding with the nomination of the board. More new members are welcome to join. EBA is an instrument for businesses in Belarus to help improving the business climate in general and promote doing business with the European Union in particular, diversifying and promoting access to a 500 million EU market. Let me conclude with welcoming your interest for EBA and the EU business support programs, but also to ensure the European Union's readiness to support an open economy in a free and independent democratic Belarus. Thank you very much.